shove it in the back.
Hey, are these things soundproof?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome to the Friday show. TGIF, right?
Thank God. I don't know.
No, I'm not going to be saying TGIF. I'm going to be saying I can't wait until it's freaking Sunday.
Sally's got the weekend duty, huh?
Just because it's Friday doesn't mean shit.
I know.
The crying is a lonely retail worker.
But you all be happy amongst yourselves.
He's got his smoking jacket on.
I'm going to go put my smoking jacket on too. So I can look fancy like Dusty.
You know what? I'm so fancy in my Ralph Lauren.
Is it Ralph Lauren?
Yeah, it is. Terry cloth bathrobe with somebody else's initials on it because I got it from the thrift store. We bought this a couple years ago. It was like, and it's the thing weighs like 6 pounds. I mean, it's that heavy. It's like seriously thick, like big old terry cloth, whatever. And I was like, you know what? First of all, it's Ralph Lauren and it's monogrammed. It didn't come from somebody's nasty ass, stinky, whatever. You know, the only somebody that could afford to wear that was probably a fairly clean person. We washed the crap out of it. But it's like a 4XL. So it's one of those that you can like just throw on and like wrap up like the sleeves are rolled up.
Yeah, but see that's a Ralph Lauren 4XL, which I guarantee you is not a true 4XL. It's like probably a extra large for most people.
Probably.
It's like a big skinny boy. It's a big Backstreet Boy.
Yeah, I'd have kept it too. I don't even have a robe.
It was like, I know, it was like $3. And I'm like, I want that. And Tristan's like, really? It's got somebody's name monogram. Maybe she wanted it. I can't remember. But it's like, we went back and forth. I was like, you know, it's $3. We can wash the crap out of it. And it's like that go-to big old, you know, it's the middle of winter and I got to go to the mailbox and put the flag up robe. It's freaking awesome. There's 3 people inside this thing.
I'm just going to wrap myself in a big old towel. That way I can feel like you. Good stuff.
Kind of curious what a Ralph Lauren bathrobe is worth on. At $90. I mean, without the monogramming of some rich dude's initials on it. But
do you feel like you're wearing $90?
No.
Now.
Oh.
Well, if you ever get hurt up.
Just find somebody name who matches those initials. And I mean, it's seriously monogrammed. Like, it ain't coming, like, you couldn't remove the stitching or anything like that.
Yeah.
All you got to do is put a piece of duct tape on it and put Dusty.
I'm gonna go find me a patch that says like says like Joe's Garage, like the old bowling shirts and stuff.
Buy one of those Ralph Lauren shirts that's kind of the same color. Cut out the big giant horse on it and have that sewn on it. And there you go.
There you go.
There you go. That's true. Hopefully everybody's having a good morning.
It'll be a nice weather day at least.
You notice nobody responded to that.
I had to.
She goes, "Hope everybody's having a nice morning." Everybody just sits there.
I had a guy, a gentleman, emailed me or actually messaged me today asking some help finding some auction stuff in his area. And it was just a matter of going to Auction Zip, looking it up, and then seeing what's going on. He's not that far away from me. I've talked to him several times before, but it's like you just kind of got to go to these things. You got to get out there and check them out.
Who are you doing
Yeah.
that for?
I just I'm not gonna tell his name or anything, but just
Oh.
a guy. He's in the groups and everything. He struggles a little bit with trying to find some good inventory when it's
I see.
the weather's bad. I mean, he's a big flea market buyer and garage sale buyer, but it's hard for him when it's up
But
here
it's a
when they got
fine,
crappy weather.
but it's a fine line too. Which I'm not saying this is where you're going with that. This is where I'm going with that. It's a fine line too between that and realizing we're all competition and we're all in the same business. Like
He's not close enough that I'm worried about his competition. He's about 3 hours away from me, so roughly. I mean, I don't know exactly where he lives. I know I've got his zip code, so I know he's kind of in that area, but he's more on the he's probably closer to Larry Lafferty than he is to me. So, but no, it's just a matter of giving a little helping hand, showing
Are people really that hard up
like
though?
not going to the auctions. I can't go to the auctions for him, but I mean I can only look at the pictures in this area. And so you got to get out there, you got to get early, you got to stay late. You got to research what you can beforehand so you know it's a good auction to go to and what they give you, and you just got to get out there and go. You got to break out of your comfort zone and get out there and just sit there. If you don't buy anything, you're just getting an education on how auctions work.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking at one auction I would love to go to, and it's the very first one I pull up. There's Pam clocks there. There's Schwinn bikes. There's Crocs. There's old toys. I mean, it's a pretty good auction actually.
what were you asking, Sally? Do people what?
I was gonna say, are people really that hard up for good stuff though that they wouldn't help somebody? Like if he was in your area and he was your competition, would you still help him?
On auctions, I would, because it's kind of an open book. If you go, hey, it's an auction. There's auctions everywhere, and I just pull up auction zip.
Yeah.
I have a problem doing that because again, it may be my competition, but I'm only showing them a general. Here's the auction pages. I'm not going to say which one I'm going to go to or anything. And I really don't care. I mean, we all joke about it. I mean, about buying each other's stuff. Snaking something out from each other. But it's only because you can't snake something out from me because I'm going to spend what I'm going to spend.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
So if you've spent more, then your threshold is higher. That's fine. I may make you spend a lot more than you had planned, but
I'll run you up and drop it on you.
No, I don't do that because I tried that one time and I got dropped on. So and I still have that little tiny glass vial somewhere around here, but
no. But if I have something that I know is going to be like a total home run, I won't announce it in a group. I won't even mention it outside of my very small circle of this group right here that y'all aren't competition because we don't live anywhere near. And even then, I know y'all well enough that even if it was something online, Eric isn't going to go behind my back and become my own competition. It's not like that. It's just, I mean, damn, this is one of the only businesses in the entire world that I know of where we're all in competition with each other, but we get together and swap information that ultimately helps our competitor. So it's a fine line between helping your competitor and being and just kind of, I don't know what the hell. It's a fine line between helping your competitor and networking with other resellers.
Right.
yeah.
It's education, but it's a real fine line.
I think it would be so awful just to not be able to talk to other people, about what we do.
Right.
I think it would be very lonely, and you wouldn't learn. I mean, I learn a lot from you guys, and not saying that I couldn't do it by myself, even if I put in the work for the, looking stuff up and stuff. I could do that, but I like to learn from other people, and just like you with the keys, Dusty, that I would never have thought of that. Never. I would never thought that people do, crafts with them, and it kind of really opened up a a spot in my brain, you know, what else can people use keys for, you know, or what else can people use things, you know, what else do they use for crafts, you know? It just kind of opens up more to it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it definitely helps you realize what other things are out there to buy. But so I'm not worried about my competition. I mean, I never have. And I would much rather be friendly and let somebody buy something out from underneath me than be cutthroat and never talk to anybody. I mean, I'm not too worried. If I know what I'm going to spend, if I'm there and I'm sitting there talking to my buddy and we're both bidding on the same thing, it's like, you know, he may have an outlet for it that I don't, so he can spend more money.
Yeah,
I agree. It's you know, I've got a lot of connections here in the junk business, and we've jokingly talked about it. One of the guys that does a lot of storage units, I'm like, you know, I'm thinking about getting back into it, and he's like, I said, I just don't want to step on, you know, your toes. You've been doing it 20 years, and I said, but you know, if I bought a unit that had big stuff in it, you like big stuff. I don't. I want the smalls. That's why I like buying stuff you get, because it works out perfectly. You keep the big, I buy the smalls. And I said, but if I bought it, I'd flip the bigger stuff. He goes, man, I don't care. There's more than enough to go around. He goes, I've been, you know, dealing with, and he's named some names of people I know. He goes, it's been the same group of us ever since even storage auctions, you know, storage wars started. He goes, and we've just stuck it out. He goes, we pay a little more, whatever. He goes, man, there's more than enough to go around. But that's different. That's a relationship like I would have with Eric if Eric lived closer. I know him, and there's that, you know, if we were standing side by side and bidding on the same thing, you know, I mean, yeah, a little friendly competition, but there's also kind of an unspoken gentleman's code of ethics. And when you're dealing with perfect strangers, like you are maybe on a show like this or doing videos or something, people you don't know, not everybody's going to have that same code. So I think you do have to be a little careful. You know, I wait till after the fact, until after I buy things a lot of times to even do a video or post a video on it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, if I have like a certain, you know, maybe I've got a certain guy that I buy a lot of stuff from, and, you know, like Dusty has, or, you know, I get all a good portion of my inventory from this one guy because he buys storage units or something like that. I'm not going to give that source up. You know, I'm not going to say that I've got something like that. I'm just going to say, yeah, I've got some sources that I go out there, and I do. I have a few places where I can pick things up that I don't really talk about. But
shooting yourself, it's a fine line between that and shooting yourself in the foot that affects your own business. You know, my first responsibility, no offense, but my first responsibility is not to educate Eric. Not that you need my education, but I'll use you as an example. To educate Eric, my first responsibility is to keep a roof over my head and put food in the mouths of Tristan, Windsor, and Gabriel, you know. And so it's that really, really fine line between you want to help people, but you don't want to shoot yourself, you know. And there's always been that really age-old conversation. Yes, I brought it up. You know, death by bolo, and things get talked about too much in groups, and markets die or whatever. I think that can happen. I think if you look 3 years back and you look at what Ralph Lauren shirts probably looked like back then, or, because I love that example, or, you know, blender parts or George Foreman parts or whatever, you know, these part-mount appliances. Yeah, that market's probably changed, but I don't share everyday run-of-the-mill stuff, so I don't really care. You know?
Yeah, if you were to look at something that got killed by the bolo, look at Starbucks coffee mugs. That is a perfect example where nobody was really looking for them until suddenly they became a hot item to buy on eBay, and then the thing got flooded because of all the bolos and, you know, Starbucks mugs, coffee mugs. You can make tons of money, and you could for a while there.
Yeah.
You know, but I got a couple of Starbucks mugs have been sitting for over a year, and I don't have a very aggressive price on them. So it's like, kid, I don't even buy me. As a matter of fact, I'm drinking out of one that I bought to sell because I know it's not worth anything. But, you know, 2 years ago, this mug was a $30 mug. I got mugs that are $60 mugs 2 years ago. Now they can't even bring $20.
You know, it's there have been people that always will say, like, aren't you worried about killing the market or whatever? That's fine. If somebody finds 40,000 keys and wants to go after the market, usually when I share stuff, I'm in and out so fast I don't care. Or like vintage CD radios or steel lap guitars. Good luck finding one of those, because that's the first steel lap guitar I've ever come across in years of doing this. You know.
Yeah, you have to kind of be careful what you're. To me, a bolo is a unique, rare item. That's what something should be like that, where you're talking about We got a wicked echo again. It's more about what, the thing that you found that you've never seen before. I mean, I sold a camera blimp. I never even heard of one. It took me forever to figure out what it was before I could even sell it. But if I ever see one of those again, I know they bring great money.
A camera what?
A camera blimp. BLIMP.
Blimp.
Yep.
See, now I'm learning.
And a camera blimp was used on movie sets. What was it is you would put your camera inside this foam padded box with extension tubes for your lenses. So that you could actually be shooting 35 millimeter stills while they're shooting the movie, and you're not making any noise that they're picking up.
But quiet your shutter.
Yeah, it actually, you can't hear the camera run, and they're specifically designed for cameras so that because it has to match up to everything.
See, I learned something new today. That's what it's all about. It's all about learning.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, that's a cool little thing, and I paid $2 for it at an auction, and I didn't even know what it was. I was buying the suitcase it was in, and my daughter figured it out, and I sold it for over $500. So,
wow,
because they're rare, they're hard to find. To me, that's a bolo because you're probably never going to find one.
Yeah.
And if you did find one, you're not going to kill the market by it. I mean, that's what I like about that stuff.
Yeah.
There's still an echo?
No.
There it is.
No.
I don't think so.
Nikki looks.
Yes.
Nikki looks so serious this morning. What's up with that?
I just heard myself.
Got her librarian glasses on, looking so angry and serious.
It's not me then, because I had my on mute. I have a funeral to go to today.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's not really a close friend. It was one of my brother's friends, so it's just kind of, I just feel bad for his daughter. And, it brings back memories of my brother. That's all. I'm kind of a downer today. Anyways. Couldn't get nothing at the auction last night.
Well, that sucks.
Bunch of crap.
Not necessarily.
Found out the auction.
If this stuff's not worth buying, it's not worth buying. I mean,
No, there wasn't nothing worth it. I mean, usually I can find something, just anything at the auction to buy, but I couldn't even find nothing for myself. It's just terrible. I didn't even stay. I stayed for just a few minutes after it started, to chit chat with people, but that was about it. It's terrible. And then next week, you may not even have an auction.
Maybe you need to find something else.
No, it's just the time of year. This time of year is already at the auction. When it starts getting warmer, people start cleaning out their barns and stuff and bringing stuff in. It'll get a lot better.
Yeah.
Just this time of year.
cleaning out the barn.
Cleaning out the storage sheds.
Do you go to yard sales, Nikki?
Yes, I love garage sales. I always have my whole life.
Too.
Love them.
It's so fun to me.
It is. I'm a digger. I love to dig through other people's crap. That's just the way I am. Auctions, rummage sales. I just love it. I'm really not a big thrift store person, just because I just don't find the deals at thrift stores like I do at, auctions kind of ruin you from stuff, because I can go to an auction and pay $1 and get a whole box of good stuff, or $2 or whatever. At like thrift stores and stuff, I can only buy one item for like $5, $6, So.
Yeah.
Gander Mountain stores.
Hmm?
Do y'all have Gander Mountain? It's kind of like Dick's or Academy, or it's more outdoorsy. It's kind of like a mini Cabela's more than anything.
Yeah, we have Gander Mountain.
They're closing 32 stores, and I didn't know it. My daughter texted me and said they're closing the one here in town.
Yeah, I told you that last
I
week.
don't remember you saying Gander Mountain.
Yeah, I said Gander Mountain last week in your area, actually. So.
No, you're a liar. You didn't say that.
Is that
Mine, because mine's a firearm super.
Oh my God! I just want to go to a website without you playing an ad. Hold on.
Apparently, there's some sort of app that you can download or a extension for Chrome. I was heard on the radio that you can actually download that'll actually block all those pop-up videos.
Is that part of Sears?
Yeah,
Gander
Sears
Mountain.
and Kmart by themselves. That's Gander Mountain's on its own, but they suck too. So.
Oh.
Yeah, but you can look at the market. Gander Mountain's closing stores. Cabela's is opening stores.
No, but it doesn't look like they're closing the one here. Maybe she just read an article. It looks like Montgomery, Tuscaloosa, Mobile, and Gadsden.
I thought Gadsden was the one you went to.
Gadsden? No, that's like way over by where our lake place was. There's a Huntsville store. As a matter of fact, Tristan's Ruger came from Gander Mountain, but because they price matched Dick's, who didn't have it in stock, or Academy. They price matched Academy, who didn't actually have it in stock, but they went ahead and honored the price.
Yeah, see, I don't have any Academy up here at all. I know they're big, but I've never been in one.
We got one. They just took an old Walmart, one of the Walmart discount city type Walmarts. They closed it, moved across the street, and built a new super center. And Academy bought the old Walmart property, tore it down completely, and they're building an Academy there now. That'll be our third Academy in the area, I think.
Yeah, I've never been.
Really, they're okay. I mean, guns are so competitive. That's the only reason I'd go. Obviously, I don't do any kind of sporting goods or exercise, but all those stores, they're pretty much the same as far as guns and stuff like that, because guns are such low profit margin that they're going to pretty much be rock bottom anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking probably a $5 to $10 difference on them, and it really depends on the volume they do and how much they can actually get in. I mean, Cabela's usually has a pretty good price.
There was a $30 difference on Tristan's. It was like $339 versus $299 or something, and that was the only reason I had them price match it.
Yeah, Cabela's is usually pretty good on guns, but because they have so much other stuff, they don't really discount their guns a whole lot because you're already in the store anyway. Your best prices on these little tiny dealers that are living off the margins. They want to sell 20 for every one that Cabela sells because they're only making $5 a gun, and they're hoping you'll buy a holster and ammo and all that stuff from them. But yeah, my last gun, I couldn't at Cabela's. They wanted $270, and I got it for $219 at a little gun shop around the corner. So.
Is my dryer too loud?
Huh?
Is my dryer too loud?
Is my popcorn chewing too loud?
No.
Is my scratching my nether parts too loud?
They're trail mix cookies.
Well, that's healthy. Are they homemade?
I made them.
Did you really?
Not at home.
A trail mix cookie. That seems like kind of like a way to get you to eat healthy, but it's not really very healthy. It's trail mix. It's a freaking cookie.
Take it how you want. It's trail mix and a cookie.
Yeah.
It has like oatmeal, nuts, and raisins, and cranberries, and
nuts.
I already said nuts.
1, 2, 3.
And
Nuts.
and not nuts.
Boy cookies.
What?
Oh my.
So is there feedback from me or?
No.
You're good.
Fine now.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't me.
Silver hair
Usually,
stack.
anytime somebody says feedback, I'm like, oh, put myself on mute.
Better.
I'm
You're
out of
better.
here.
You're a lot better since you got the headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, PTSD on feedback.
Yeah, I mean,
Over her stacker said, "OMG, packing this bike for shipping is like eating an elephant."
Ugh.
That's why I have about 5 or 6 unlisted bikes. The easiest way to do a bike, don't try to get it all in one box. I don't care how Walmart ships them, how everybody else ships them. Try to do the handlebars, seat, tires, pedals, if you can get those off in one box, and then just plan on doing the frame in another box. Plan on using 2 boxes.
Really?
yeah,
I mean, you can do it and then put the wheels down in next to the frame, and that's where you're just going to fight things and get frustrated.
the biggest key is getting those pedals off. Bikes aren't difficult to ship, but it's just they're wide and tall. If you get those pedals off, you can really narrow it down.
Mm.
And the pedals are going to be reverse threaded. So if you're trying to get them off and they're not going, go the opposite direction. He said, yeah, the bike shop couldn't pack it for me until Tuesday, so I'm having to do it myself.
Huh.
That's cool if you got a bike shop that packs them. What do they charge to do that, just out of curiosity? And does that price include box?
I mean, a box for a bike's, pricey to begin with. So.
That would be awesome.
They'll give them to you at bike shops and stuff too, or
Yeah.
I'd sell bikes all day long if I had a bike shop that would pack them for me.
hell yeah.
Have the professionals do it.
He said, yeah, I figured out the pedals. The price at the shop is $50. See, I'd just pay that. List the bike. Will they break it down and do all that too for that? Hell yeah, I'd list all kinds of bicycles. I'll list it.
Oh,
Take
yeah,
it to
that'd
them,
be
just
awesome.
factor that into the price, pay the $50 and be done with it.
Sounds like a good plan.
Sounds like a plan, Stan. Cookie.
Got myself a new perfume. Smells so good.
Let me smell.
Right, so we can smell it.
But it's not smell-o-vision. It's tropical coconut coat.
Ooh, I like coconut.
Plus skin-loving vitamins.
I like to eat coconut. Smell it though.
I like the smell of coconut. I don't like to eat it, but I like the smell of it.
I love.
Makes me think of a beach in warm weather.
Mm.
That was yesterday, the dog peed on my feet. And it was like my last pair of pants, sweatpants, clean. So I had to put shorts on, which I wear shorts all the time anyways. But I was at the auction last night and everybody's like, why are you wearing shorts? Oh my God. And I'm like, I'm trying to bring on the warm weather. Mind your own damn business why I'm wearing shorts. Don't worry about it.
That's a big old glass you got there.
That's my coffee. I've been drinking it out of this, but I think it's getting too cold.
But why
Too
not drink
fast.
128 ounces out of a Bubba keg?
And then go to bed.
And then I can't sleep. I got to pee every 45 seconds.
I thought of you last night, Dusty.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's kind of weird. No, I was watching TV and I saw a commercial for growlers.
Ow.
Very nice. So,
I just hit myself in the mouth.
so we finished that show last night, that 11/23/68 thing or whatever, that series. Pretty dang good.
think I finished the 7th episode.
Don't you have to be getting going, Dusty?
Do what?
Don't you have to be getting ready to leave?
I got 28 minutes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How far away is how far away do you have to go?
To pick up the truck?
Yeah.
4.5 miles.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little bit further than that.
I hit my tooth, not my lip. I'm all right though.
You knock out a tooth with coffee.
I'm trying not to. I've been really clumsy lately. But I mean, it's not my fault that my dog kicked me in my eye.
Hold the phone.
So you've been really clumsy lately, and then your next statement was, "It's not your fault the dog kicked you in the eye."
Mm-hmm. But I have been clumsy.
Yeah, you're probably pregnant.
I need to get in the shower, but
I don't think so.
no, that's a no. Douchebag. No, our son's going to help us today with the storage unit to clean it out and load it in the truck. And
You want to take a shower before you went?
I made him a deal. I was like up at 8 and shower and everything. He's 15. He has to shower. There might be girls in the store or whatever. So
He's going to want to shower when he comes home.
I know how long he's been in there because that's why I've been sitting here with a bathrobe on, because I made the mistake of leaving the bathroom and then he went in and got in whatever. And I was like, "Is there any hot water left?" He's like, "I don't know." And I said, "Well, that's a big fat no." So I could take a cold shower. That ought to wake me up.
Hello.
Honestly, Dusty, I wouldn't even bother the shower because by the time you get done with that unit, you're going to be so dirty, nasty.
I have a routine. It is coffee, bathroom.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Coffee, bathroom, shower. You don't want to walk around swamp ass all day long. It's just gross.
I mean, I shower before and after. I don't function very good if I don't have a shower.
Oh, I'm going to assure you it won't be a long shower, especially if it's, I don't know, 42-degree water.
Just waiting for the warm up a little bit. I got to work in the car today.
And then Tristan types
Just keep the heater in there with you.
Tristan types in the side chat, "Anything my little prince wants, he can have. My son is not a douche." Our son.
I have boys too, but I know. They don't. I mean,
he is our son, but if he's done something, then we refer to him as "that's your son" or "that's your son."
Me and Valerie do the same thing with our dad.
Yeah.
A little harsher on the dad thing, though.
We used to do it in videos a little bit, and people would comment like, "Is that y'all's son together?" Or that was like, "No, that's just what we do." Yeah, both of our kids are, but it's just what we do when we don't like what they're doing. We refer to them as your kid, you know.
I do that too.
Yeah, Valerie says, "Your dad called me today," and I said, "Not my dad, he's your dad." My dad's the milkman. Nope, my dad's the mailman.
Oh, thank God he don't watch these videos.
I know. He'd be like, "Fuck you guys, I'm not talking to you anymore." Well, he wouldn't say "fuck you guys." He would say, "I'm praying for you because you shouldn't be on a show that's called something," and you know, he'd be going off.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pray for you.
He'd be quoting scriptures.
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I accidentally.
He'd be saying that too. Hi, Banana.
Hey, there you are.
What's going
I was
on?
wondering where you were at.
I've been around.
Oh,
Thought you were going to
really?
the office.
I'm just been around the block, you know,
That's what
A
we
few
heard.
times.
working. Going on, Keith?
You're working that corner, huh, bitch?
Hell yeah. You got to squeeze every dime out of it.
Right.
Trying to make $1 out of 50 cents.
I forgot it was Friday this morning and ate a hamburger for breakfast.
Well, whatever it takes.
Probably
That's
just as
okay.
good as me eating Trailbeck's cookies for breakfast.
But it's Lent, so you're not supposed to eat on Friday. I told the waitress, I said, well, don't tell my dad. She says, well, it's a good thing I never see your dad.
Oh, man.
Excuse me.
Good one.
I had like 3 sales yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Yeah, guess it helps listing, huh?
Good.
That's pretty good. I had a couple.
Me too.
I just sold an Avon game to or handheld. What is it? It's like 21 or something, some jackpot game. Handheld from Avon, and I sold it for $15 to Canada.
Nice.
Global shipping program. So
Woohoo.
Probably a fun thing that sells.
I sold a book for $29.51.
woohoo! What book?
It was a book of, it's called Off the Wall Sardis, and it is I've had it for probably maybe a year and a half. It has, huh?
What'd you say? Off the wall? What?
Off the Wall Sardis. I don't know if I can't remember if
Sardis.
Sardis is the author, but there's like all these movie stars, older movie stars that have the caricatures, the cartoon drawings of them,
Uh-huh.
and it was just a book full of those, and it gave information about who the person was, and I think they had went into like this restaurant frequently, and I think that was Sardis. I think Sardis was
Oh,
something like that.
Is it a little pink book?
What's that?
Is it a little pink book?
It's a big red one.
Oh, because there's another book that's got a bunch of characters of like comedy people,
Uh-huh.
and that's actually worth, I don't know,
Excuse me.
40.
Someone please wake up Eric. Oh, there we go. He fell asleep.
He was just checking it
waking
out.
up.
I'm sorry, did I miss something? Did someone say my name and I didn't hear it?
Yeah, I came on the show. There was nothing.
Good morning,
I
Eric.
I asked you a question, you never said it, you never even answered my damn question.
I didn't hear you. What's up?
Exactly. I thought you were going to the warehouse today.
I am. I decided to have a quick cup of coffee before heading out. I have a lot of work to do there today.
I also sold a water pick machine.
Those usually,
And
Very good.
yeah. And a pair of Haban shorts. So
Wow, that's actually
Nice.
those are super cheap to begin with.
the what?
Band is a brand that's actually pretty inexpensive.
Oh, I know. I just sold them for a couple of bucks. I didn't pay nothing for them, so hell.
But just the
Hey,
fact that you were able to sell them, though, is actually kind of interesting because it kind of just goes to show you that everything sells. I mean, it's that's a price sell. That's not necessarily a brand sell because a band is they're really good clothing. It's an online clothing store, but it's cheap.
I
Yeah.
actually sell a lot of that.
Everything that I have of a band that it sells.
Well,
Like,
it's a good
I'll have it for a
quality-
couple of months and then it's gone.
Good quality. People know the brand, and but like I said, you can buy pants on a band for like $20. I mean, brand new.
Hmm.
My dad used to order Hey Band all the time.
Been around a long time.
He's like an online mailing king. He's always done online mailing, but he was always heavy, so he always had to order his clothes from online.
Excuse me. Man.
I had something I wanted to talk about today, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, that's not too good.
It's all
You're
that
supposed to write that shit down.
I was thinking about it like last night, and I was thinking I need to talk about this on the show, and I totally forgot about it. What it was. It was a good topic too.
Eric, you still working on the car today?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to warm up a little bit.
Yeah, it's still a bit cold out here too.
Oh, another thing I wanted to say. Can I say somebody else's channel on here, Valerie?
As long as it's not mine.
Oh, you gotta ask Valerie.
No, you gotta ask her.
It's not my channel.
That's I
She's
said,
not here.
Valerie. Oh,
Yeah, she's AFK.
She's giving herself a breathing treatment.
oh. She usually
Smoke.
doesn't care, but
She's smoking.
she's smoking now.
Oh God. Is that code for breathing treatment?
Yeah.
You peeps.
Oh, does she have asthma or something?
No,
Yeah.
she's smoking. She's not giving herself a breathing treatment. She's smoking.
Oh, I never knew Valerie smoked.
Yeah.
Like a train. Come on.
Oh. I never paid attention, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen her smoke on camera.
And she doesn't smoke in that room.
She only smokes outside or in bed. Come on now.
In bed.
But
Dog.
she's you about smoking.
What, Nikki?
I thought she used to tease you about smoking.
No.
Are you kidding? Who do you think taught her?
I thought she used to say something about you smoking.
She taught me how to smoke. Hello. She's like 7 years older than I am.
Yeah. Guess you learn something new every day.
Yep. And I've been doing really good not smoking anywhere besides my bedroom or outside.
Good job.
Now, how much money could you save if you didn't smoke?
A lot.
Oh, let's not get into that.
Yeah. I was at Walgreens the
25%
other
of my
day.
eBay profits go.
I'm so this close to quitting. I really am.
I mean, and no, I'm
Just
not
because
judgmental
I
on
know
smoking.
how much it costs.
I mean, I smoke
mean-
an occasional cigar and everything. There's nothing wrong with that. And again, I'll never judge anybody on smoking, but
But you used to smoke
the amount
cigarettes.
of money that gets spent is what just boggles my mind.
You used to smoke cigarettes, so you know.
No, I never smoked cigarettes. I've always smoked cigars.
That's not true. I've seen you smoke cigarettes.
No, I'm smoking a cigar. Those little ones that I smoke, that's a cigar.
The ones that look like a cigarette?
Yeah, what do they call it? Philly blunts? Whatever.
It's just a filtered cigar. It's all. It looks like a cigarette, but it's a cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
But these are only like $1.25 a piece.
Yeah.
I was at Walgreens the other day. Well, Walgreens is a little more expensive on cigarettes anyway. But they had this sign that said two packs of Marlboro 7 something. And I was like, did I pay that much for cigarettes?
Yeah.
So yeah, I do. So about $14 for 2 packs. Yeah.
I mean, if you buy them by the carton, you usually get a little bit of a price break. Not a huge one, but a little bit of one. So what's a carton of Marlboros cost? Just generally,
$7.50.
so $75 a carton minus a little bit for a carton discount. So you might get it for $70 a carton.
It's probably like $73.50.
Yeah, I said I'm just saying because I don't know. I haven't bought cigarettes. I used to go pick them up from my mom a long time ago. But you think about that. If you smoke just one carton a week, that's a car payment.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that it's always the non-smokers that lecture the smokers?
Oh, I just said I'm not lecturing smokers. I'm talking about the money side.
As somebody that used to be a smoker, I just flat out look at people. You know what? When you want to quit, you're gonna quit.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should quit because you're saving money or anything. I'm just discussing the amount of money that gets spent. I mean, I'm never going to say stop because you're being foolish. I'm just saying the amount of money is amazing how much people smoke. I said because don't get me wrong, I'll spend $5 on a cigar. I'm not judging anybody. I spent $20 on a cigar. I mean, it's just amazing how much it costs to smoke. That's all.
Oh, I know it.
It is, and my mom used to and I'm just giving you a hard time. My mom used to lecture me a lot, and I finally just looked at her one day and I was like, "Did you ever smoke?" She's like, "Well, one time in high school." I'm like, "No, did you ever smoke? Like you were addicted to it for 20 years?" I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, my mom's 75 years old, still smokes. I mean, she's in the hospital 2 days ago getting a stent put into her, another stent put into her neck, I guess. And the doctor's like, "You should really stop smoking." And my mom's like, "I'm 75. I've had 3 heart surgeries. Do you think I'm going to stop smoking?" He's like,
Give me this pleasure at least.
Yeah.
But no, the ones that always got me were the people that go, "Just put it down," and I'm like, "You obviously never smoked." Like I got so tired. I think it got a point where I got a little defensive. Just put it down and walk away. And I'm like, oh, that's a novel idea. I never freaking thought of that. You know, really.
That's how Jim ended up quitting smoking though, and he was a huge smoker when I met him. I mean, he was probably smoking 2.5, 3 packs a day of Camels.
Oh.
One day he just set it down. Yeah, he was big. I mean, he'd try to help me stack hay. I mean, his face would be just like beet red. I mean, he couldn't do anything. He was always out of breath, He was a real estate agent. We have a lot of lake property that's got like steep lakeside frontage. He couldn't hardly walk up a hill without huffing and puffing and stuff. Yeah, he was a big smoker. So if you do, I tell him not to preach, but he's like, you just have to set it down and you'll just quit it. Just realize it's not doing you any good.
That was my thing. I think when I got so frustrated was because I couldn't do a damn thing without huffing and puffing. And that was probably my biggest motivator to quit. Was I just got tired. That and my kids. My kids were our kids, sorry. Our kids were to the age where I was getting a lot of the, Gabe looked at me with big tears one day. He's like, "Dad, I don't want you to die." And I was like, wow,
Yeah. They really know how to lay it on thick.
Yeah.
Damn kids.
And I used to hate when the kids come home from school and my teacher said you shouldn't be smoking. My teacher said that you're going to die from smoking. I'm like, Jesus
I'm all fresh and clean. I'm going to be a bail enforcement agent today, too.
My kids tried that one time on me, too. A long time ago, they said, you really shouldn't be smoking. I'm like, you really should be shutting your mouth. They're like, what? I'm like, I'm happy.
Like,
I said, yeah, you shouldn't be eating any sugar. You shouldn't have any caffeine. You shouldn't be playing any video games. You know. Let's talk about addictions, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite was an older buddy of mine. He's really nice. He's just really country. And he would drink like 12 Diet Cokes a day. And he loved Little Debbie snack cakes. And he used to harp at me. And I finally stopped one day and looked at him and said, "You're probably going to die first." And that was the end of it.
I thought you were going to say, and he died from them.
And he died.
Because I killed him. When I quit smoking.
Yeah, my daughter, she used to take my cigarettes, a pack of cigarettes, wash them, and put them in the trash can, or she would hide them.
I've seen her throw them in the toilet. Oh man, her daughters were awful. I told my kids, "You do that to my cigarettes, and you're going to be buying my cigarettes. They cost me money. They're going to be costing you."
But
Comfortable life. I just started back smoking 3 years ago. It's the best thing I ever did.
I actually got real stoned one time. It was actually okay. I started back last July, and so it was the previous like October. I got really stoned, and it was on marijuana. And I was stoned. I was stoned for like 9 hours, and my kids were laughing at me and stuff. And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna quit smoking tonight." And I said, "This is my last pack," you know. And I quit smoking for it was like 10 months, 9 or 10 months, and I started back because where I work, you don't get a break unless you smoke.
Just walk out and take a break.
Yeah, no, I think that's BS. We used to actually enforce that at places, you know, like when we had the thrift store and restaurants and stuff like that. And people, all the smokers would always get breaks. So I would give breaks, just like that weren't scheduled breaks, to the non-smokers. All the smokers would be like, why do they get a break? I'm like, they don't smoke. They can go do what they want. Same 6 minutes until you smoke a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? They want to go sit down for 6 minutes. It's only fair.
Yeah.
But I was understanding too, because I know even during the times when I didn't smoke, I had nothing wrong with smoke break. If we're not busy, if you want to take the trash out, that was kind of our deal at the restaurant. If you take the trash out, you can smoke a cigarette. You just don't take more than about 4 or 5 minutes. Smoke a cigarette, hot box it, or smoke half of it, put it out, and stick it on the curb next. You know, we had this like area back there. Save it for later. I don't mind, because if that's what keeps your stress level down, I totally get it.
Yeah. So the problem with smokers is they think, well, you know, a lot of places they get you know, oh, I get a 15-minute break, you know, 2 15-minute breaks in my shift, so I'm just going to take 6 5-minute breaks. I'm like, dude, don't work that way. I can't schedule that. I can't work around, you know, never knowing where the hell you're at. So.
Well, you know, like we can't leave. We can't, you know, and if we don't have anybody to like replace us while we're taking a break. So you have to be always available for the customer. So, you know, that's kind of just how, you know, how we do it is if we're going out, you know, to take out the trash or whatever, we'll smoke a
We're
cigarette.
going to stick to tanks and smoke our cigarette at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. I won't go over there if anybody's pumping gas or anything.
right.
Speaking of strange smells, I just got an eBay delivery and they used a wintergreen lifesaver box. It smells of mint and I am not a fan. King Rat said that.
People crack me up with their packaging.
I know.
That's kind of a smelly thing. I mean, I can understand that if you don't like wintergreen smell.
Yeah.
That's very wintergreeny.
Wintergreeny.
Hey, Valerie, somebody's channel on your show?
What's that?
Can I mention somebody's channel on your show?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to tell people it was kind of a good video. I mean, I like his videos anyways, but this one was a really good one. You guys should watch it. Baiting video. It's Crazy Picker Life. I know we've probably mentioned them before, but not. I think it was not yesterday, but the day before. He had a good video about motivating on your business on eBay. This was a really, really good motivating video. He was telling you about how you list or picking, listing, and selling, and it was really a good motivating video, I thought. And I just thought other people should watch it. I'm looking up the name of it real quick here. It says, "Truth. Are you where you want to be in your eBay business?" And it was posted second. I just thought it was a really good motivating video.
Yeah.
So,
Triz?
I mean, he didn't really tell me anything that I really already don't know, but it just kind of was a motivator, I thought.
Yeah, I mean those are good videos when you've got that motivation and I like him. I don't know what his name is, his real name is, but
do you really need any more motivation than money? I don't know.
Well, I know, but I thought it would be helpful to newer people, and
sure.
And he tells you how that to dissect your business and see where you need to, what parts of your business you need to work on. He just kind of, I don't know, makes you think about stuff, I guess you'd say.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, I know what my flaws are, but I just thought for newer people, it's a really good video too.
Yeah. Sherry at Honeybee Treasure said she liked that one also.
I just thought it was a good motivator,
Well, I understand, the money is a good motivator, but you also, I've been in a funk all week, and yeah, money would be nice, but for some reason I've been in this funk, this thing of, I list my 3 per day, but that's about all I have done, and that's not working.
Yeah, but I mean that's the key right there though, is when you're in a funk, you're still forcing yourself to list a couple items a day. It's still moving you along, it's keeping your store active.
Right.
That's the type of stuff that you've got to, depression sucks, and when you get there, you got to be able to push through some of it.
Right.
It's very easy to, let the couch magnet suck you down and have you sit there and not list anything for a week.
Right.
Then you're really got to, and it just kind of, it's a most self-fulfilling thing. So if you could keep pushing through those little issues and stay motivated just long enough to get a couple listings up, get your packing done, look at your store. You don't have to do a whole lot, but that's how you keep it fresh and keep moving with it.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't bust out 100 listings every day. It's just too impossible. On those days when you're not feeling it, list a couple items.
Yeah.
You're piecing
I
out.
just been in kind of a funk lately, a listing funk lately for like the last month, and I don't know, I'm just not in the mood,
That's where you
But
got
I'm not depressed or anything. I just didn't feel like doing it, But
when you don't feel like doing it though, do a couple things. You don't have to do much, just do a couple of things. That's how you maintain your business. I mean, if you got enough items in your store that you can keep selling, it's just keep the listing thing going.
Well, and that's the thing, I always was in there tweaking and whatever, doing this and doing that, and doing, end listings and sell similar and stuff like that, and moving prices around and stuff. I was still doing that kind of stuff, but actual listing, I wasn't really doing anything. And that was just me, I mean, I've savings from last year that I could take a break like that, But yeah, it was just like a break, and I get that way this time of year anyway. It's just, and the word laws, at auctions, and so I put money aside for these kinds of times during the year. And
Yeah.
but I once in a while you need a little break too. But I didn't take a complete break where I haven't done anything, and that's part of the reason why I'm still selling. You know, I'm not selling much, but I'm still selling stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, the biggest problem with taking a break is you're not taking a complete break because you haven't stopped buying either though. So that's the thing is if you're not going to list, you probably shouldn't be buying either.
No.
So if you buy, you should be listing. I mean, that's how you
Mhm.
keep the business churning constantly. Otherwise, I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking a week's vacation or something like that, but you're not buying it. You shouldn't be buying anything that week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to take those little breaks, but take complete breaks.
Yeah.
I think that is maybe a lot of it though is, you know, not having a way to go do a little sourcing, you know.
Well, I think for
Well-
you, it's not even that. It's you're dependent on. I got to go to the grocery store now. I got to arrange rides and all that type of stuff. Or, you know, I want to go out. I just want to get out of these freaking four walls for 5 minutes. And you know, the weather sucks. It's not like I can go out there and just take a quick little walk around. I got to sit here do nothing. I mean,
Right.
yeah, you're a little different thing. Hopefully that'll
I think
change this
that can make a
afternoon.
big difference once I do get a car.
Guys.
What?
Yeah. Muted.
And actually, the last month I really haven't been buying that much either. But see, I'm a power lister, so when I do get back in the mood to list and really get in the zone, I'll list like crazy.
That's all I got to do. I'm not judgmental, believe me, because I've taken a month off before, and you know my sales suffer because of it. But
At least you know what.
yeah, I know why, and I know when it's going to happen, and it'll happen again this year, and I'm comfortable with that. I understand what goes on, and I kind of retreat into my brain, and then hopefully I have enough to keep me going in my stores.
Yep, and that's me. You know, this whole time, you know, I haven't blamed anybody but myself. You know, because I know why my sales are suffering.
Well, it shouldn't be a blame game. It's not. I mean, as a business owner, it's one thing to, you know, if you're sitting there and you're going, oh my goodness, I can't pay my bills because I haven't worked. That's one thing. But if you're just like, you know what, I just haven't felt like working, but I'm not hurting by not doing anything. So yes, my sales may have suffered, but I'm not hurting for anything. Oh, sweet.
Right.
Oh.
Did you pay? No, it's an offer. Hopefully they'll pick up. I already tripled sales from yesterday.
I've been buying a lot of stuff from my life though too, so I'm back to work. And
I'm probably going to cut the show a little short today because I've got to go talk to a man about a car.
Yep.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.
that's the man, of course.
Yet.
I gotta leave early too because I gotta go to that funeral.
I got to drive around aimlessly for another 6 hours. I need to take a break.
You gotta slam on me.
Well, I don't see Eric driving around in his seat, so yeah.
It's not aimlessly. She has to constantly troll for the little kids with her candy. Come on now.
Oh, my bad.
All right, I got to run anyhow.
Hey.
Okay. See ya. Good luck.
Shit got quiet real fast.
What's going on?
We're just feeling the heat from the burn.
Who says cut the shit? Who
Nobody.
said that?
if you're not here, you don't get to know what's going on. That's all we're saying. You can't be
dang
bothered.
it.
Pay attention. We're not going to go back and talk about stuff. You missed it.
I had to go take my packages out
And smoke.
Yeah.
and smoke. Giving myself a breathing treatment.
Oh my gosh. That's right. Blackberry Thistle Tea said people need to stop feeling so guilty all the time about their bad habits and just live and be happy. Amen.
As long as you know your habits are bad or whatever, then you're fine.
I think everybody needs a vice. You know, sometimes they need more than one. So
I'm with you.
you know, like I've always said, I've never attempted to quit smoking. No, I've never quit, never attempted, just because I don't want to.
You enjoy
I
it.
have
Yeah.
desire.
It's no different than
I have
going
no-
out and having a fine meal, 3 times a week with wine and doing all that type of stuff. If you enjoy that, then go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Smoking's bad for you. If you understand that smoking's bad for you and you're still doing it, then okay.
But we've also watched our mother die from cancer, and she wasn't a smoker.
Yeah.
No.
My mom
and
she's actually 76 years old and has been smoking almost an entire. She started smoking when she was 16 years old. She had a period where she quit for 1 year when she was like 69 or something. But aside from heart issues and not even anything related to smoking, she's in perfect health, no cancer, nothing like that. Her mother smoked till she was 75 and never an issue. I mean, it's bad for you. It sucks your wind away. You can't do a whole lot. It's proven bad, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get cancer. It just means it's bad for you. I mean, I eat too much of the wrong types of food. It's bad for me.
Right.
That's simple. I mean, I accept that.
Yeah.
I don't list as much as I should. I don't list as hard as I should. That's bad for my business, but I accept that. That's who I am. I'm not worried about it.
Right.
Stressing out of more stuff is a lot worse for you, I think, than anything. So.
Oh, absolutely. That was funny because I don't know if most people know this, but I'm a respiratory therapist. I know it sounds awful, smoking and being a respiratory therapist, but
what's worse is that you get people coming in for that breathing treatment because they're not feeling good and everything, and you're over there and you smell like they're smoking. They're like, "Can I just lick your shirt for a few minutes here?"
But and that's the thing. I mean, they would have us do smoking cessation and stuff, on patients, and I'd go in, I'd tell them, smoking's bad for you. Maybe if you feel like you need to maybe quit, or if you have that, that desire, let us know and we can get you the help. But I'm not going to sit here and harp on you because you're a smoker. And I had told when I started school, I told my teacher, I said, with me doing this, do you think it's, imperative that I quit smoking? And he goes, oh, hell no. He said, you smoke all you want. He said, this is very stressful and you do not need to, you do not need to quit. You need to continue that. So, like, okay, no worries.
Yeah, it's a little bit hypocritical, but again, it's your habit. So
It's kind
as
of
long
like
as you're comfortable with the fact that it's your habit, who cares?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a swimming coach who doesn't know how to swim.
Or that knows how to swim really well.
I don't know.
My sister was a smoker. She had complications from diabetes. She went on hospice because she was just, I mean, they were just whittling her away, with diabetes, and kidney problems and heart problems and everything. Anyways, she after she signed the hospice thing, she wanted to go out and have a cigarette, and I took her out to have a cigarette, and they were complaining about that, and I was like, really? But she just signed her life away. What would you like her to do? Just sit there and not be able to enjoy her last few days? Because when you have kidneys, when they take you off of dialysis, you only got a few days left.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she wanted conies, and they're like, I can't believe you brought her conies. And I was like, what else has she got? Shut the hell up. I'm giving her what she wants before she goes.
Which is really funny because that's the whole point behind hospice is to ease the transition, and that's why they don't really care what you do. They shouldn't really care what you're doing because you're done. I mean, you've decided that's it.
That was when she was still in the intensive care, and it was before she had actually got into hospice. They had her still in intensive care for a few days, just because until they got her spot ready in hospice, I should say. When she got into hospice, they were angels. I mean, they were like, I can't even imagine being a nurse in hospice, but they were angels. But yeah, it was like, are you gonna sit here and complain about what I'm doing with my sister? No. Yeah, I figure if you're gonna smoke, the thing is it doesn't matter how you live your life, honestly, because I believe that when you're gonna go, you're gonna go. I had a cousin who lived. She was as perfect as you can get, as perfect as a human could be, and she lived the way God told her to. She drank socially once in a while. She never smoked, never did drugs, ate healthy, was very beautiful. She was a beauty queen, everything else. She ended up getting an aneurysm and dying at 40 years old, like a month after she got married for the first time.
Yep.
So I mean, that just tells me that, it doesn't really matter how you live your life. It's your time to go, you're going to go.
And be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather die doing what I want than, trying to be something that I'm not.
Yep.
Now, if there's any young kids watching, you should not smoke, you should not drink, you should not do drugs. But be happy.
If there's any young kids watching this, you need to go talk to your parents and tell them that you shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah.
He says marriage is bad for your health.
No, marriage is fine for your health. Divorce is bad for your health.
That's right, Eric.
Oh.
Being unhappy is bad for your health.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stress can do the worst on your body than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki, are you taking another road trip?
Today, no.
No.
No. I have that funeral to go to at 10 o'clock.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Which I forgot to cut my bangs. I'm doing funky things this morning, but oh well. I don't care. Tell them to cry somewhere. They won't see my bangs. They say I'm really a very close person. He was just more of a, his daughter is more of a friend of the family than him, but he was a good friend of my brother's, so I figured I better go.
Yep, that would be good.
Yeah.
I feel like playing a
And then
game.
the roughest bar in Duluth afterwards. I'm like, I ain't going.
Yeah.
I wouldn't step foot in that bar. I'm scared to. You don't want to sit anywhere unless your back is against the wall. That bar. You can see them coming. What else is everybody doing today? You guys gonna get some work done?
Making some listings.
I got a box of stuff at home that I'm gonna get listed this evening when I get home. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go see about that car and then come home. And
What kind of car?
get something.
What kind of car?
It's a 94 Chevy Corsica.
Okay.
yeah, the other day she said, "Well, it is a '94." I said, "Well, I drive a '97, so."
Yeah.
I drive a 94.
Yeah.
I drive a 92.
Oh,
You drive a 94?
What?
You drive a 94, Jason?
Yeah, I have a 94 Suzuki Samurai that I recently bought.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have my regular truck that I use daily, and that's kind of just like the toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be driving my Miata today. It's a
It's
92.
92, huh?
Yep.
I thought they didn't come out till 95.
Came out technically in the fall of '89, so it's a '90 model. But
Huh.
'89 is the first few ones. '89, '90, and '91 were the initial models. They did some small changes in '92, and then the '92 through '97 were the same basic model. Some engine changes, but
Now, did they pretty much use the same engine all the way through, or did they?
they did all the way up until '94. They went from a 1.6 liter in the early ones, which is what I have, which is considered a better motor. They went to a 1.8 in the later cars, and they switched that in 2016 or 2015. They went to a different motor again, but it's been a 1.8 for a long time.
Oh, they still make that car?
Oh yeah, Miata's on its fourth or fifth generation at this point.
Oh, I didn't realize they were still making those. Huh.
Yeah, I think it might have passed the VW for the most produced car.
Oh. I remember at the time it was a big thing.
It was a big thing because nobody was producing convertibles. Everybody said the convertible was dead. They can't pass the safety rules and everything, and Miata comes out with basically a British sports car that's better than a British sports car.
Did they make those in the British racing green?
Oh yeah,
they did.
That's the one I wanted. Was the British racing green with a tan leather interior, but my budget got me in a basic red with a black cloth interior. So, but
still nice though.
Oh, I love my car. I mean, I said I need to get a new top for it. I've got a hard top for it as well, but I need to get a new soft top for it. But when I go out in the summertime or anything, I usually drive it like closer to the dusk, so you don't have the sun beating down on you. Because convertibles sound wonderful, but if it's 95 degrees out in blazing sun, convertibles aren't fun to drive. I mean, it'll wear you out, sucks the life out of you.
Well,
but
the one good thing about
late evening, that's the best time to drive those.
The one good thing about like the Jeep type vehicles, you could just throw a bikini top on there, and then the sun's not beating on you.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really do it with the Miata. I mean, it's still a fun car to drive even with the top up. They do make a tonneau cover, which is kind of like a cockpit cover. If you've ever seen the cars with those, where you basically the whole interior of the car is covered except for the driver's seat, so you can drive like that. They also make back tonneau covers for them and things like that. But I would not mind having one of the ones that covers everything but the driver's seat. That way, I could actually leave the top down and just zip it up when I'm going in and out of someplace quickly. But yeah, new top. I mean, I'm gonna buy a new top probably this summer. It's only gonna cost me a couple $100, and I'll put it on myself. But
Oh, it's not too complicated.
no, it's just a matter. It gets a little complicated when you're drilling out the rivets for the top, but it's not that difficult. And the new top's only like $180 for a basic top. And my top's been on there for top was new in 2007. It's like it's on its this will be its third top, so 2007. They last 10 years. Which is not bad for $200 considering my dad has a BMW Z3. He's got a 98 Z3. That's his fun toy. And he had a new top put on it. It cost him $3,000 for a new top. So but that was a nice canvas top and the whole 9 yards, where I'm just buying a basic vinyl top. So but yeah, it's
All right,
kind of
guys.
fun.
I'm gonna go ahead and, sorry,
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna. Yep, I'm gonna get the dogs put out and everything, get ready to go. So,
All right.
All right.
wrap it up.
Peace
We'll
out.
see everybody on Monday. Have a great day.
See you Monday.